Alright y'all, welcome back to another week of trading. So today we have the pre-market analysis. I already started on Euro USD, but I started last Friday. I wanted to get it over with and I did see opportunity, so I started breaking it down. But we're going to start here and then we're going to continue to work down the list like always. So let's get started. On Euro USD, starting on the daily time frame, you can see how price is continuing this uptrend movement due to price giving us the breakout of these highs. Now I just want to see price form the retracement, one, back towards the recent break of structure, showing me that price has given us the retest, and then two, allowing the 4-hour time frame to have that pullback towards that recent break of structure, it just showing us as well. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, you can see how price has recently just broke out of this uptrend structure due to it breaking these highs, and then the last previous structure point being here. So I am looking for price to pull back down towards this area, treat this area that is well known, respected as resistance, treat it as support, look for the shift of structure on the 15-minute time frame, and possibly ride this trade back towards our highs around 115.846. So Euro USD definitely looks good. We're just waiting right now for the daily pullback. Next is Euro USD, well, NZD, sorry. You can see how price has formed the reverse. Well, I want to say this is a continuation towards the upside. You can see we were bearish, then price flipped, going from bearish to then bullish. We then had the continuation move due to us breaking out of these higher highs. Now we're just looking for price to form that retracement, allowing the 4-hour time frame. Well, if price does form that retracement on the daily time frame, if it wants to start that daily bearish candlestick, this will possibly give us the 4-hour break of structure around here. So I'm really not interested in Euro NZD. If we have a deeper move towards the upside, we can possibly then see price form that retracement, which will allow that 4-hour time frame to possibly just form this as being the recent breakout, and then we can just look for the retest of that zone, and also allowing the daily to have that retest. But who knows, we simply have to just wait. So not really interested in that right now. We can leave this on not ready yet. Next we have CHF-JPY. Same thing, we had the continuation move towards the upside, simply waiting for the retracement to happen, which will allow the 4-hour to have the retest of the recent break of structure around here. Y'all can see that. So simply waiting for the retest so we can move this on the waiting on the daily. USD CAD, we see that we are in a continuation move towards the downside. Y'all guys, imagine if we're still holding this trade. That's easily a 1 to 6. That's crazy, but we're not greedy. We take what the market gives us. Continuation move towards the downside. We're waiting for price to form that retracement, which will this is once price forms a retracement on the daily time frame, clear as day, we can see that this will give the 4-hour the bearish to bullish flip, which I will simply no longer be interested. If price does have that bearish to bullish flip, I will simply just wait for something like this to happen. Price breaks above, have the retest, which allows the 4-hour to be in this bullish trend. We look for the counter move trade due to the 4-hour and the 1-hour possibly being in sync, and then look for that bullish move back towards the upside. But until something like that happens, I'm not really interested in USD CAD, so I'm gonna leave this there. Euro JPY, you can see we have the move towards the upside, waiting for the retest. No, I'm not really interested. If that retest happens, we'll possibly be breaking these 4-hour lows, so I'm not really interested. If that does happen, like same thing with USD CAD, we look for the break underneath the zone, the retest, and the counter trend move back towards the downside. But until then, not really anything going. GBP USD waiting for the breakout. NZD CAD, I was eyeing this pair for a counter trend move. I guess this would be the continuation. We are bearish on the daily time frame, as you can see right here, but we are at a zone where I like to call no man's land. I would love to see price get back into 83,323, just being our recent lower high, and then just some structure I can use. Yes, we do have this piled up resistance zone, but yeah, it's not for me. It's not for me. That's all I can say. I would rather be at my lower high rejecting that structure instead of being in, I like to call no man's land, where we are close but we're not there. We do have zones bouncing, but this is just, it's just ugly. I wouldn't want to make it up. If I have to do a lot of guessing and assuming, I simply walk away because that's not what I'm looking for within the market. Something easy, like you all know, with Euro USD, we had that continuation move. We can see clear as day we're bullish. We're waiting for price to form the pullback. Once that pullback gets established, we have structure we're waiting to see get rejected on the 4-hour time frame due to it being a cleaner structure area where price is obviously bullish. We want to see it get treated as support, and look for the ride back towards the upside. In this case, you can obviously see how we are in no man's land, right? We don't have that clear indication telling us, hey, we're either bearish and we're having this continuation breaking retest and we're underneath our structure, or we're looking for the counter trend move back towards the upside. And even with the counter trend move, we can still see clean structure. Right now, this is just sloppiness, so we just walk away. Next, AUD NZD. You can see we are bearish overall, but we are forming a rejection towards this area of interest on the daily time frame, treated as support when we are above. And I did want to see that 4-hour go from bearish to bullish, but you can see how ugly price action looks on the 4-hour time frame. I was looking for the break of structure here and then a pullback towards this area with a retracement, something like this, but gotta wait, right? We have to be patient, see what price wants to do, but until then, I'm not really interested. Next, EuroCAD. We caught the first move, counter trend move towards the downside for a beautiful 1 to 2. Next, you can see we are rejecting the same area, treated as resistance. It's struggling to break above, but the 4-hour time frame, however, is bullish. So I would simply wait for the continuation move towards the upside, allowing the daily time frame to get back above this well-respected resistance zone, which will allow the 4-hour to have that continuation move towards the upside. You then wait for the retest of that area of interest, shift the structure on the 15, and ride this trade back towards the upside. So this will be interesting. I would put this on waiting on the daily because I want to see that break above. Next, GBP NZD. You can see how price is in this bearish trend due to us having this lower high and our lower low. Right now, price is hovering below this well-respected support / resistance zone. The 4-hour, however, is bullish. As you all can see, we were in this bearish trend, but price then gave us the breakout, now having the continuation move towards the upside. If price does break back above on the daily time frame, above the zone, we can look for the counter trend move back towards the upside due to price getting established as support if we do break above. This is a well-respected zone, as you all can see. If I do drop towards the lower time frames, you can see how price treats this zone as support, as resistance, support, support, resistance, and support and resistance over here, right? It's well respected. So we have multiple signs of rejection, multiple taps back into, multiple signs of price respecting as support, respecting as resistance. I simply want to see the counter trend move towards the upside based off of the 4-hour time frame showing me bullish momentum. So we'll see. I'll move this on wait on the daily. Euro GBP, yeah, we're in no man's land. We were breaking back above this area of interest. We can see the left head, right shoulder. We could possibly see price come back down, retest this recent breakout, and then form the continuation second push back towards the upside. But until then, we simply wait. I would love to actually see that, because you all can see how this will allow the 4-hour to have the pullback towards the recent breaker structure as well. If the 1-hour is in sync, the 1-hour looks a little sloppy, actually. I don't know. We'll see as the time goes on. If it gives us opportunity, clean opportunities, we may catch a trade, but I will simply wait for the daily to form the pullback towards the recent break of this neckline, and then possibly look for that continuation move back towards the upside. We can put this on the not ready yet, but it is our #1 pair we are eyeing, so we're going to leave that there. Next, we have GBP CAD. You can see this is the last trade we took. I believe this was last week. Was this last week? Yeah, this was last week. This was the last move we took. It took a whole 7 days for this thing to play out, but it played out, so I can't complain. Thank the Lord, right? So you can obviously see the first move we had was the rejection towards our area of interest. Price formed this beautiful bearish variation pattern. I can circle it. You can see we had that beautiful bearish variation pattern engulfing these previous bullish candles. We then had the 4-hour, which gave us a clean break of structure out of this support zone, which the 1-hour was also in sync, having the structure again at that same support zone. We then saw the retest, 3-bar reversal, left us with the doji. We found our shift of structure on the lower time frame and rolled this trade towards the downside. So right now GBP CAD is still having that move towards the downside. I'm simply not seeing anything, and I'm going to walk away. Like I said, I would rather have price at that lower high to where I can see it rejecting my previous structure and I can look for trades then, instead of me being in the no man's land and just looking for opportunities, right? I don't know when price is going to bounce and go towards the opposite direction. Therefore, I don't want to guess and play around with potential profits, right? So no point, walk away. CAD JPY, we are waiting for the breakout. Nothing really going on. NZD, USD is really ugly. I'm not really interested. Not really interested. Waiting for the breakout. Waiting. Well, let's see. We are at the previous structure point being our higher low, but we are rejecting, which is good. 4 hour time frame, we are bullish. Yeah, we are bullish, but the 1 hour is probably not even in sync. Yeah, I'm not really interested. GBP AUD, we are rejecting previous structure. Is this an area of interest? This is no. I just marked that off. I'm not interested. No man's land. We are rejecting previous higher lows. 4 hour time frame. We are bearish. Not really interested. This is gone. We are rejecting, but y'all can see the double bottom formation happening clear as day, right? One thing I do want to see is the 4 hour. 4 hour is still bearish. The 4 hour is bullish. I would wait for something like this. If we have a move like so and then followed up with another breaker structure back towards the upside, I will wait for the retest of the 4 hour breaker structure, but as well as that higher low at 88.83, right? Looking for the rejection and then followed up by the switch of structure and ride this trade back towards the upside. This will be a clean counter trend move back towards the upside that I would like, only because we are showing signs of a 3-bar reversal happening based off of this doji type of setup. You can see we had a bearish candle, which was then followed by a doji, which I like to call it a doji, it's close enough. So which is then followed up by a doji. I would love to see next a bullish candle close above this previous bearish candle, giving me a confirmed bullish momentum flip. But until that happens, we simply have to wait. I'm not really interested. GBP JPY, I'm not interested. So right now my top pair is Euro USD. Like I said, we're waiting for the pullback of the recent breakout, which will allow the 4 hour to have the pullback towards the recent breaker structure. It also had treat this zone as support, look for the flip of structure on the 15, and continue to ride this trade towards the upside. Next, CHF JPY, simply waiting for the retracement, waiting for price to have the breakout towards the upside, which will allow the 4 hour to have the continuation move. We look for the retest, and like we know, switch of structure, ride this trade towards the upside. GBP NZD, same thing. We're waiting for price to break back above, looking for the counter trend move, and we ride this trade towards the upside. So right now, Euro USD is the continuation. CHF JPY continuation. Euro CAD, I'm gonna put this second because it is a continuation, and then GBP NZD is a counter trend. We'll put this third because it is almost ready. So top 4 pairs as of right now, we do look good. I'm excited. Let's see what the market does. I will send y'all updates like always.